fulfilling as it is when you do your own work and you get a grade, a good grade, and you know you've done it on your own. So doing your own credit, repairing your own credit is actually fulfilling. I swear it is. And then when you start to see everything come off your credit, deleted from your credit, all the negative and derogatory accounts, and your credit score going up, then you be like, nothing gonna stop you. You're gonna keep researching. You're gonna keep studying. You're gonna do whatever it takes to get everything off your credit report, especially when you're trying to get that new house. You're trying to get approved for that new car. And it feels good to walk into a auto dealership and you tell them you want this off the car lot. And they be like, no, we can get you this. No, check my credit. When you check my credit and you see what I got, then I want this car on the lot. So, but there's some background work that's got to be done before you can even get to that. And trust me, credit repair is not overnight. So whoever's telling now, some things you may can do and get it deleted early or quicker than you thought it would. Now there are some things you can get deleted quick because I've done it. But the real stuff, the hard work is done in the background, and that takes time. It takes time to build up from a bankruptcy. It takes time to build up from a 400, 500 credit score. It takes time to get items deleted off your credit report when every business is different. Every creditor is different. Every consumer reporting agency is different. And I do want to make a disclaimer. Everything I say in this video, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial advisor. I just want you to know if you need any of that type of assistance, please consult your consumer lawyer and a financial advisor to help you. I'm here showing you the laws, showing you the proof that these are the same laws that consumer lawyers use. But research the laws, see how to use the laws as you learn with me. And if you're following somebody else, that's fine. You can also input, give me some input, insight on some things. I don't mind researching it. Whatever it takes to help our community improve our credit. Now, I have put polls up in my Facebook group asking what type of help do you all need. It's kind of limited response. Uh, I feel like a lot of people want things for free. Y'all got to stop looking for free. I started this with no money. I got stuff deleted with no money. No money. And that's all it takes. When you learn these laws, I'm here to help you use the laws. Now, if you want to use my letters that I have, my templates, that's fine. But that costs you because I did my research. I used everything I had here that I learned to get my stuff deleted. And I put them into the letters. So no, you're not going to get my letters for free. I hate to sound harsh, but you're not getting them for free. You can earn them. You can participate in the community. You can follow me. And if I'm giving some away free, then yes, I don't mind giving it away free. But you're not just going to come in and just get letters for free. No, you can come in, participate. You can create your own letters. If you need guidance, that's what my email is for. It's going across the bottom of the screen in the ticker, because it's kind of frustrating that a lot of people say that I can't get this, I'm tired of getting denied. You ain't done nothing. You have to do the work to get any type of result, any type of improvement that you're trying to get. Just sitting back watching people on videos is not going to help. I actually had to take action. It took me a minute. It didn't take me a minute. When I first part of this year, when I got this summons to go to court and I already knew bankruptcy wasn't an option, my back was against the wall. There was no more option for me because it takes 10 years for you to get out of bankruptcy. It takes 10 years for you to get out of bankruptcy. So if you're one of those people or some of those people that's dealing with collections, judgments, you're dealing with repossessions, and bankruptcy is not an option, whether it's a chapter 13 or whatever type of bankruptcy you're choosing. Bankruptcy is not an option after a certain number of years. Now, granted, you do have types of bankruptcy that allow you to pay as you go, but you're trying to get this stuff deleted off your credit report. You got to live. You got to live, okay? I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to stop nagging because it's just frustrating to see how people can just sit back and just watch you. Don't say anything, but need it. Won't even ask. And then when you present them the stuff that they want, it's like you need about 4 or 5 things because you waited so long. You waited till it was time for you to go to court. You waited until they reported those 3, 4 collections on your credit report. Now your credit score didn't tank. 200 and some points. You waited until those time when you are sitting with these creditors right now. I can give you the laws. I can teach you the laws to where you can handle creditors right now, to where they won't put into this information, this negative derogatory information on your credit report. I can show you how to file CFPB complaints to help you get remedy from companies. I can show you how to file these complaints without having to get fraud alerts reported to your credit report. I can show you how to do all this, but you all won't take the time out. You won't come in. You won't ask. And it's about 1,400 people in this group. I'm going to start deleting people from the group because it's not serving me any purpose with people in the group that don't need it. They don't need it. So, with that being said, I want to talk about permissible purpose. Anytime you go into these places and you apply for credit, and you may have signed that application, but we have to get into the habit of reading, because when we don't read those disclosures and we don't learn what type of disclosures they have to have before we can even have an agreement, because if they don't have the proper disclosure and they don't go through the proper procedures, that agreement is null and void. That was a dishonor when they first had you to sign it. Now, but it depends on the different types of credit that you're applying for. You do apply for open-ended credit, and you do apply for credit dealing with installment loans, auto loans, mortgages. So those take different types of effects. So permissible purpose, and I'm talking about the did they have permission to pull your credit or check your credit? So that's that 15 USC 1681 BA2, and I'm gonna share that with you so you can see permissible purpose. And that's dealing with student loans, is dealing with collections, is dealing with bankruptcies, anything dealing with public record. Did they have permissible purpose? And when it comes to not having permissible purpose, it comes with it results in identity theft. Let me share my screen so you can see, because I do want to show you, first of all, did they have permissible purpose? Okay. Excuse me. All right, 15 USC 1681B. 15 USC 1681B. All right, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit just so you can see it. All right, it says in general, and let me let you see it. It says in general, and this is respects to consumer reports, because once they pull your credit, they had to give that consumer reporting agency your information, your name, your address, your social security number. They have to give all the information, and they have to have proper procedures to get that information. And I'm going to give you the word certification. Keep that in the back of your head. Certification. All right. I need you to keep that in the back of your head. Certification. All right. So in general, subject to subsection, any CRA, consumer reporting agency, may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other. And this is what I want to come down to: in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates. And let me reword it so you can understand what it means. In accord, they can only furnish your information from your credit report under these following circumstances and no other. In accordance with the written instruction. It didn't say oral, it said written. It didn't say written and oral, it only states written. So if you didn't sign a disclosure from them stating that they can furnish this information, or with the creditor that they can pull, they have to have written instruction. And that's where that certification come in at when it comes from the creditor. In accordance with the written instruction from you to whom it may relate. So if they're going to if they're going to furnish information from your credit report, they have to have written permission from you. And with that written permission, that's part of that certification that the creditor has to have in order to give to the consumer reporting agency, Equifax, to even be considered certified to give them that information. Okay, to even give them that information. So you're saying, Quad, I'm sitting at the the um the finance company right now. I'm applying for it, and it didn't take them nothing but what 5 minutes to get this done. I signed it, and that was it. Now this is why I want to show you. This comes with having that certification, because once it goes through, once the CRAs furnish their information to them, they get your credit report, they go ahead and approve you for whatever loan credit that they're trying to approve you for. We're going to go to 15 USC 1681D. So I'm going to show this to you real quick. This is the certification that I'm talking about. All right. 1681D. They have to have this in order to do anything. A, 1681D, disclosure of investigative consumer reports. So when that finance company sends that information to the creditor, that creditor to the CRAs, they have to have these disclosures, and they have to have, this is the certification that you hear everybody speak of. Okay, this is the big information that everybody's trying to hide, to where it's like, to me, if I'm learning, I'm teaching it to you, you can apply it on your own, or you can consult me, you can do whatever you want to do, but this is the certification that everybody is talking about. So when that company sends that creditor sends that information to the CRAs, and the creditor gets your credit score back, this is the certification that they have to have in order to have permission. So now, A person may not procure or cause to be prepared an investigative consumer report on any consumer unless it clearly and accurately disclose to you that an investigative report, including your information, character, general reputation, personal characteristics, and mode of living, whichever are applicable, may be made. So they cannot make this unless they make it clearly and accurately. They cannot procure, means to obtain. The word procure means to obtain. All right. This word here means to obtain. You can fact check me. You can type it in Google, do whatever you want to do. It means to obtain your credit report, unless, okay? Unless such disclosure, now this is from the creditor, unless such disclosure is made in writing, mailed, or otherwise delivered to you. So no later than 3 days after the date on which this report was first requested. So you went in on, I'm going to say October the 2nd, and you applied for credit, right? And you trying to figure out how fast is that? I signed it. They gave me my money right then. I signed it. They pulled my credit report and they gave me my credit. So this is what I was trying to get you to see. Delivered to you no later than 3 days after the date on which the report was requested. I can't talk today. So if you went in on October the 2nd, it doesn't say working days. It doesn't say business days. It said 3 days. So that's 3 calendar days. Okay. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, by the 5th, you should have something in the mail in writing from them stating that they checked your credit report. All right. And includes a statement informing you that you have the right to request the additional disclosures provided under this section B, subsection B of this section, and the written summary of your rights. So when they pulled your credit, they also have to include in this mail that they send you no later than 3 days after they pulled your credit report. So that day you went in on the finance company on October the 2nd, I'm going to say 5th, 6th, give or take 5th, 6th. You should have something in the mail that's dated between them days. A statement informing you that you have the right to request additional disclosure provided under subsection B of this section and the written summary of your rights as a consumer. So let's go down to subsection B real quick. B says disclosure on request of nature and scope of investigation. So this is the disclosure that the creditor has to have to show to give to you to show proof that they check your credit, or letting you know or informing you that they check your credit. Any person who obtains, so the word procure means obtain, or causes to be prepared a credit report, which we call investigative consumer report, or any consumer shall upon request made by the consumer, reasonable period of time, that's when you went in and applied, after the receipt by him, that's the company, of the disclosure required by Section A1, that's just what we got through reading, make a complete and accurate disclosure of the nature. So you got to tell me in there what you pulled my credit for. And it's going to show that you pulled it for to get financing, to get a loan, or to get a car, whatever it is, okay? And this disclosure shall be made in writing, mailed, or otherwise delivered to you no later than 5 days after the date on which the request of disclosure will receive. So once you request this information, they have to give you this disclosure within 5 days after you requested it, that the date that they received your request. Okay. From the 5 days from the date that they received your request. Okay. Because you have the option to request this information, these disclosures from this company. So remember, 3 days after you apply for that credit, they supposed to send you something in the mail. That's that certification. So they've already pulled your credit report from the CRAs, from Equifax, from TransUnion, from Experian, right? Now, where is that certification documentation telling you that they pulled your credit, and this is why they pulled your credit? I'm gonna give you a minute to think. How many of you all received this documentation in the mail? To even request that information no later than 5 days from the date that you received that disclosure from them. Nobody. I had never received that. Never. This is what you're going to use to get a lot of accounts deleted, because these creditors cannot show proof of this. They can't. Now, granted, let me say this, because y'all take stuff like a grain of salt. Y'all take it like a grain of salt. Everything is different. My process will not be the same as your process. Okay. So I just want you to know that my process is not going to be the same as your process. But I do want you to know every company is different. So you may use this law, or you may use this knowledge to get accounts deleted. And if it doesn't get deleted, the name of the game is to find violations. Okay, that's the name of the game, because consumers wasn't educated about this. So the only thing that we can do, that we're pretty much forced to do, is to find violation that these companies are violating us with. That's why I'm here to teach you the laws, so that you can use these laws, so that you can analyze, evaluate how these companies have been treating you and how they have been using you, so you can get your freedom back. I'm in this same process with y'all. Okay, I'm in the same process with y'all. All right. I'm not claiming that I got an 800 score. You'll never hear me claim I got that. When I get it, I'll let you know. But right now, I just feel like I'm grasping it so fast, to the point where I can't hold it back from my viewers. I can't. It's just not in me to hold it back. I got to show it to you. I got to tell you. Okay. And I'm praying and hoping that enough people will hear this message and they would do something about it. I'm tired of sitting in debt. That's why some just hit me all of a sudden. It just hit me. A clock turned on. My eyes were open. They were finally open. And I'm not talking about being sovereign. I'm not talking about living in the private. That's not what I do on my channel. That's not what I do in my Facebook group. If we want to dive into that, we can. But that's a thin line, walking with that sovereign and that living in the private. That's something I don't do. So if you ask me questions about that, I'll let you know from the door. I don't do it. Nothing against it. Nothing against it. I haven't tried it. I was about to, but I changed my mind about it. But I just learned that I'm gonna hit them where they're hurting. Well, I'm hitting where it hurts, and where they're hurting me at, and that's with my dad. And when I'm trying to provide for my family, I can't provide for my family because of credit. They say money rules the world. Credit also rules the world. So if you want to, and we got a lot of people that want to run a business. You can't run a business without money. Now, you can build an empire off no money, but you cannot maintain and run a business without money. You cannot, like the education, the information that I'm providing you now. I need money. My main job supports this job right here. And pretty much a lot of this I'm doing for free. Because people need help. People need this guidance. People need this information. Okay? People need this information. All right, so now that's the certification that I was talking about. These companies have to have permission. And if they don't give you that disclosure at the time that you're sitting in their establishment applying for credit, they supposed to send you that disclosure along with your disclosure telling you your consumer rights no later than 3 days from the date that they pulled your credit report. Okay. And then once you receive that and you request the reason why they pulled your even if they deny you, even if they deny you, they supposed to tell you why they pulled your credit. They're supposed to give you a reason why they pull your credit. Okay. And they have to have permissible purpose to do that. And permissible purpose and this section of the law, 15 U.S.C. 1681D states written. It doesn't say written in oral. It doesn't say orally as an option. It only states written. So keep the word written in the back of your head, because if it's not written, they're violating you, because you're supposed to give them something in writing. Okay. All right. So let me go back to, and let me show you after it says A1, where they have to clearly and accurately disclose this information to you no later than 3 days. All right. So A2 states that the person, which is the company, certifies or has certified to the consumer reporting agency that they made the disclosures to you required by what we said in paragraph 1, and the person will comply with subsection B. So that means that they got to prove that you signed a disclosure saying that you gave them permission to check your consumer report, and that you sent this information to them 3 days after they pulled your credit report. And they must comply. So when you request this information in B, they have to show that they gave you that they when they procured it or caused your consumer report, that they, upon your written request, that when you requested it, you gave them this information no later than 5 days from the date that you received it, that the creditor received it. So they have to show all of this. 9 times out of 10, and we do have some companies that are following this procedure. They are doing it correctly. Okay. And you also have some creditors that are doing business and don't even know these laws. They don't even know these laws. That's why sometimes when you file a CFPB complaint, you don't see these companies inside of the CFPB database, because consumers are not educated on this. They don't know. So they don't know how these companies are violating them. They don't know how to exercise their consumer rights. They don't know how to exercise their consumer rights to get remedy. They don't, because if I file a CFPB complaint and mine goes through, I'm gonna make sure everybody in the world know. I'm gonna make sure my mama know, my daddy know. I'm gonna make sure my cousins, uncles, my friends, and if you're on my Facebook group, you gonna know too, because I'm very transparent. I'm like a lot of people say, "Oh, you quiet, you country." I am. I'm truthful. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. And I will tell you the truth. If some of you want to know this the truth, I will tell you. Um, and if I'm wrong about something, please enlighten me, correct me. I take constructive criticism, or I take criticism very well. I take criticism very well. All right. So if you can figure out, if you can, when you apply for these companies, think back to see if they sent you these notices, these disclosures in the mail no later than 3 days after they pulled your credit report. If they didn't, that's a violation of 15 U.S.C. 1681 D, A, 1, and 2, because they also have to comply when you send them. Once you get it in, once you get those disclosures, they have to prove that if you wrote them and told them that you need this information as to why they pulled your credit report, and it has to be in writing, then they will be satisfying 2A and 2B. So they have to do both, because this says and. They have to show the consumer reporting agency certify, means prove that they made these disclosures to you and that you comply with this section. So when you ask for it in writing, they gave you that information. And the only way I see them doing that is that if they ain't send it to you by certified mail, or if they don't keep track of the days that they send it to you, they can't prove it. And it has to be on paper when they prove it. They ain't no call in, oh, we just sent it on this day right here. No, everything goes through paper. So they have to prove it in writing. All right. That's that certification document that they were talking about. And this goes for loans, student loans, bankruptcies. Oh, public record. Let me take you to public record right quick. Let me go on down to D3. Let me show you why they can't put anything on your any public record on your credit report. And this for consumer reporting agencies. We're gonna go down to prohibitions, which is D, and we're gonna go down to D3. Certain public record information. Now remember the certification I was talking about at the top. Except as otherwise provided in section 1681K of this title, a consumer reporting agency shall not. The word shall means they can't, it ain't an option for them. They must not do it. They must not furnish a consumer report that includes information that is the matter of public record. All right. And that relates to an arrest, indictment, conviction, civil action, civil judicial action. I don't know what I was about to say when I said that word. Tax lien or outstanding judgment. Did you not hear me? Tax lien or outstanding judgment. I'm going to say it again. Tax lien or outstanding judgment. Experian is in trouble right now for reporting tax liens and outstanding judgments. Outstanding judgment means, okay, say for instance, let me give you an example. You in Harrison County and you had a judgment, a creditor suing you, but they never did take you to court. And they're trying to sue you for, I'm going to say $500, but they never did pursue it. But their Experian is reporting this outstanding judgment. Okay? They're reporting this outstanding. And that's been about, let me say about, I'm going to say 5 years ago, maybe, no, I'm going to go 7, 8 years ago. That's an outstanding judgment. It's past the statute of limitation and they're still reporting it. Okay? They can't report it unless the agency has verified the accuracy of the information during the 30-day period ending on the date on which the report is furnished. Let me read that again. No consumer reporting agency shall not, a consumer reporting agency shall not furnish an investigative consumer report that includes information that is a matter of public record and that relates to an arrest, indictment, and I'm going to keep moving, unless the agency has verified the accuracy of the information during the 30-day period ending on the date on which the report is furnished. All right, so let me tell you this. They put your bankruptcy on the credit report. I'm going to use October 2nd again. 30 days later, it doesn't say working days, y'all. It said 30 days. So 30 days later, it doesn't say business day. That'll be November the 2nd. So between that date and November the 2nd, they supposed to verify with the agency, well, the credit report is supposed to verify that this information is accurate. How in the world can they verify that it's accurate? And if they're using Pacer, Pacer tells you as a disclaimer, you see if I can find it. Pacer tells you as a disclaimer that everything is, that they report may not be true to the fact. So how can you verify something that may not be accurate? Think about it. So how can they verify this bankruptcy? How can they verify this public record? Let me go see if I. Oh, these kids loud up here. All right, so let me find. Let me see if I read it. Let me go read it. Oh, excuse me. I should have saved this page. This site is maintained by the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts on behalf of the Federal Judiciary. The purpose of this site is to provide information about locating and filing cases in the federal court. It doesn't mention anything about accuracy. Now, also with the bankruptcy, they can't verify bankruptcy because the key thing to the bankruptcy is that your local courthouse will tell you that they don't report any information to consumer reporting agencies. Okay? They don't report any information to consumer reporting agencies. This right here is the reason why they cannot verify that tax lien, that outstanding judgment, that judicial action, that conviction, that indictment. If they can't verify from the source, and Pacer is not the source. If I did a bankruptcy in Southern District of Mississippi, that's the source. That's where I filed it at. So if they didn't get the information from there, from the actual source, they can't verify it. And you as a consumer have to request this verification. You write a simple letter. Write a simple letter. But let me tell you something about these. When you're trying to get this stuff deleted, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian get their information from other companies. Okay, they get them from other data furnishing companies like LexisNexis, SageStream. Well, LexisNexis and SageStream combined. So LexisNexis, ARS, Innovis, CoreLogic. They got a lot of them. Factor Trust, Factual Data. They got a lot of these companies that furnish this data, and they get it from them, those companies. So if you try to ask them, if you send them a letter and ask Experian to verify that bankruptcy, they're going to say the information came from LexisNexis. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to contact LexisNexis and ask them to verify that bankruptcy or whatever the information, that tax lien, that judgment that they got on your credit report. And let me see, let me find the page because I'm going to show you right now what Experian, the link to that's LexisNexis, not Experian. My fault. Correction. Stand to be corrected. LexisNexis. And this, and I'm trying to figure out how this actual lawsuit is under wraps. It's like when they did Equifax, that was like a big blow up. It's like everybody was talking about that. But LexisNexis, let me see, and I'm gonna put that link in the box. Let's see, will this take me to? That's in 2020. This states, lawsuit alleges LexisNexis illegally collected and sold. That's it. So I'm gonna put this link and let me share this screen with you. Hold on. This about immigration. Yeah, they did do this one too. This one about selling their personal data, immigrants' personal data. So that's the immigrants. It's two of them. They had two. Well, they were reporting these outdated judgments and liens. Yep, because LexisNexis got settlement checks going out. I know of one person received a $625 check from LexisNexis for reporting. Now that's it. Where is it? I saved this page. I sure did, and I don't know why I saved it. Let me see. Check my email. Yeah, LexisNexis is issuing out. They're issuing out checks, and you don't have. It's two different groups that's getting checks. You don't have to. You don't with I think it's the B3 group. You don't have to do anything if they reported any judgment or lien to your credit report, they're gonna send you a check, a settlement check. But if I'm not mistaken, the actual date to opt out, because you can opt out. So what it is, when you receive this check, if you receive this check, I want to find the thing so you all can see it, because I hate giving out information and you don't see it, because this is not popping up like everything else is popping up. Let me see. Let me go. I know I saved it. Yeah. Let me go to my bookmarks. I actually retained it in memory. I didn't even write it down. But while I'm finding the bookmark, you can opt out of it, but I think August of 2022 was the deadline to opt out of it. Because once they send you the check, and you cash the check, it's showing that you accepted it. So if you got any type of old liens, judgments, or anything being bankruptcies and things like that being reported on your LexisNexis, and if you wanted to pursue them in court, you couldn't, because you accepted that $625 check. So I'm not sure if they're going to allow you to still opt out now if you haven't received a check. But when I receive, if they send me a check in the mail, I'm sending it back, and I'm gonna send them back the documentation needed to opt out. I'm praying that they'll let me opt out, because I'm going through something right now with LexisNexis deleting the bankruptcy, because they also, once LexisNexis deleted the bankruptcy, Experian delete. No, it was Experian. Equifax deleted the bankruptcy too. And that's, you hear me say, when they delete it, that's an admission of guilt. I know y'all hear a lot of people saying get paid from bad debt. That's exactly what they're talking about. Because now that they deleted it, that's an admission of guilt. Now you can get you a consumer lawyer. You can file a CFPB complaint. List the laws, do whatever you need to do. Tell them that you want monetary remedy. Okay. Now, or you can go find you a consumer lawyer, seek you a consumer lawyer. You can go at it after that. But if you accept that $625 check, or however amount that check is, if you accept that check from them, that's you waiving your rights to take them to court or get any type of lawsuit going against them. I'm looking for it now. I've saved so much stuff on them. Excuse me. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. I know I got it. Let me look again. I'm trying to find it for y'all. But by LexisNexis reporting this information on your credit report, you have to make them, the burden of proof is on them. You have to make them prove that the information was verified. Okay. The information was verified. I'm only seeing the stuff pop up about the immigration. I'm gonna read that to you so you can understand, just in case you know somebody going through it. But I think that already passed though. It says immigration advocates sue LexisNexis over personal data. I cannot talk. Immigration advocates are accusing, and I'm gonna let you see this because I want you to see. I'm gonna stop sharing, just so you can see that LexisNexis is keeping their stuff under wraps for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like everything blew up on Equifax, but They're not saying anything too much about Experian. I mean, about LexisNexis. All right. Immigration advocates are accusing the data broker LexisNexis Risk Solutions of violating Illinois law by collecting and combining extensive personal information and selling it to third parties, including federal immigration authorities. So they were sharing information they want, furnishing information that they weren't supposed to, and selling it to third parties. Mm-mm-mm. You see how these companies violate you, and when you don't know the law as a regular consumer, they can get away with this stuff. They can literally get away with this. They violated Illinois laws by collecting and combining extensive personal information and selling it to third parties, including federal immigration authorities, according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday and this was put out in the press August the 16th, 2022. They did not immediately reply to a request for comment shortly after the lawsuit was filed. Yeah, they got to get their ducks in a row. The complaint also notes that LexisNexis Accurate product, which is sold to law enforcement, incorporates information that isn't publicly available, including correctional bookings, vehicle collision records, and license plate reader databases. Mm-hmm. The advocates have called attention to a $22 million contract between Immigration and Customs Enforcement and LexisNexis for their product, revealed in the results of a Freedom of Information Act request. So this is just one example that I'm trying to show y'all. Learn the consumer laws, learn, communicate. We can start a study group in this one, but it's got to be enough people that care about their credit in order to learn. Okay, it's fine and dandy that you want the quick way out, that you want to just get it done quickly. You want it done quickly and the stuff pop back up on your credit report, or you want it done effectively to where you don't even have to worry about it coming back. This is what I'm showing you when I teach you these laws, okay? All right, just place any questions in the comments. If you got any questions, I will answer them. I want y'all to have a blessed night. Thank you all for watching.